Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin today's video, I'd like to give a shout out to Steve Phillips Waller. He is the founder and editor of A Conscious Rethink. They have some wonderful articles, and I will also put a link to the website in the description. The vast majority of empaths would, when asked, probably label themselves as introverts or with introverted tendencies. There are, however, a significant minority of empaths and highly sensitive individuals who are very much extroverts. You may not have thought about yourself in these terms before, but if you can identify with most of the following points, there's a good chance you are an extroverted empath. Number 1, you feel alive around others, but mostly in small groups. As an extrovert, you thoroughly enjoy spending time with other people, and you can easily while away the hours in the company of friends. It doesn't matter whether you are venturing into the wilds of nature, getting a bite to eat, or playing some sports. You just love to be among others. You do, however, prefer to keep the group size fairly small when meeting up with people because you find it so much easier to cope with. Your extroversion and your abilities as an empath both mean you soak up the energy of those around you, and it's important to keep these balanced. Too many distinct energies, and it's a bit like adding more and more ingredients to a cocktail. Eventually, it ends up as an unpalatable mess. Number 2. You are very choosy about who you spend your time with. As much as you enjoy being in the company of others, you won't just settle for any old person. After all, you are an empath, and this makes you very sensitive to the vibrations given off by others. If you have a choice between being in the company of someone with negative energy and being alone, you take the solitary road every time. You are happy to meet new people, but if it soon becomes clear that they are giving off a vibe that does not harmonize with your own, you find an excuse to leave. Number 3. You are very choosy about what you spend your time doing. While your standard extrovert might be happy to go along with others in whatever activity has been suggested, the empath inside you finds it hard to get enthused by things you have no interest in. It feels inauthentic to partake in something that you'd prefer not to do, and so you are more than happy to turn down an invitation if it doesn't float your boat. This doesn't mean that you are demanding and inflexible. You just know when and when not to say yes. Number 4. You experience swings of energy. An extroverted empath has to cope with a very interesting dilemma, which can lead to sudden and extreme swings in energy levels. As an extrovert, you are able to replenish your batteries through contact with others. But as an empath, you also absorb energies from all around you. While you can easily go days or even weeks in extrovert mode, there will always come a point where your battery becomes overcharged and you short circuit. Your enthusiasm and excitement for seeing other people almost instantaneously plummets as you struggle to absorb any more energy and you withdraw yourself. For a while, your extroverted side goes on hiatus to allow your energy levels to even out once more. While you may only need to flee to your inner cave for a short period, it can sometimes be that you go on a mental vacation for a week or more. In this time, you almost fall off the radar as far as socializing goes. Number 5, you like to plan events in advance. As much as you enjoy getting out and about with other people, you also feel the need to plan such gatherings in advance. Even if it's just a day or two's notice, you like to be able to diarize and mentally prepare for the forthcoming festivities. The reason for this is because you know how easy it is for your inner empath to become overwhelmed. Some situations will involve greater numbers of friends, others will mean exploring totally new places, and others still might mean meeting entirely new people. All these things are potential dangers to an empath, so you like to have a forewarning in order to create a mental shield. This is a classic survival mechanism for an empath. It's something you just naturally like to do. Number 6, you like to feel free. Despite a preference for planning, you also like to have the freedom of choice. This means that you find events with very rigid structures quite hard to deal with. You like things to evolve naturally over time and for the next step on the journey to be taken only when it feels right. The way you reconcile this with your need to plan is by coming up with a rough idea that is far from set in stone. You may even just agree upon a starting point and then see where life takes you from there, because by this time you will already have your shield up to deflect unwanted energies. When traveling the world, for instance, you're more likely to book a flight and a couple days accommodation and then let the trip flow from there rather than go on a cruise with predetermined stopovers and excursions. Because of this, you quite often assume a leadership role among your friends because you let your intuition guide you and in turn them. Number 7, you have a not-so-secret creative side. Empaths often harbor a highly creative flair within them, but their introverted side can hold them back from expressing this. You have no such problem, however. You feel at home on stage or in front of an audience. You might be an actor, an artist, an author, or simply a showman. In each case, you are not afraid to gift your talents with the wider world. You don't shy away or keep your talents under wraps. You explore ways to further express yourself by seeking out opportunities to get involved in an active artistic community. Open mic nights, poetry slams, interactive art exhibitions, amateur dramatics. You feel enthused by these scenes and others like them. If there are any extroverted empaths out there, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think about this. Please comment below and let me know if this describes you in any way. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.